welcome for the UCI Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup, the City Mountain Bike Championship 2018, and this edition promises to be a very special one with 2 more rounds to go. Last year we had 6, this year 2018 we will have 8, with 2 new countries that have joined in: Bangkok, Thailand, and Sao Paulo, Brazil. This year we have kicked off this championship in Columbus, USA.
It's very hot here. I already trained here for over a week, so I've got used to the heat now, and it's a really fast track, so you have to be on shape and focused and as sharp as a knife.
It's excited to finally get started. It's going to be fun riding eliminator races again. It's a spectacular course. They managed to squeeze a whole lot of obstacles into such a short track, so it's going to be interesting.
Pour la première Coupe du Monde à Columbus, je trouve que le parcours est super joli par rapport à l'année dernière qui était déjà très sympathique. Cette année, il est vraiment super, beaucoup plus technique.
Lots of compliments on the track, on the course. This promises to be an interesting race.
Objective is final this year. Okay?
I'm motivated and I'm really looking forward to defend my title.
The time trial is good, but it's a warm-up for me.
We see a concentrated defending champion, Simon Gegenheimer from Germany. And this is the start of Jeroen van Eck, the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman, on this very technical course, a track with lots of obstacles, quite some spectacular jumps as well. The track is pretty short. It's a sprint track, ideal for fast riders, guys with dynamite in the legs. We had 15 participants, male participants, and 5 female participants here in Columbus. And this is home rider, same as Powell, 27 he is. This guy from the United States of America was national enduro champion in 2017. Everybody is looking for the limits, because this is qualifying, and it's a race against the time. Every second and every single fraction of a second is so important in this qualification round. We are awaiting our defending champion. Here he comes, Simon Gegenheimer, the German. Lives in Karlsruhe, was German champion in 2012, 13 and 16. We'll have to wait and find out if his time will be the time to beat. Finally, the top 3 finishes within the same second, but even further down we see minimal differences.
Time trial was quite okay. I finished 4th, so one of the fastest guys, so I'm really happy about it.
J'ai fait un super tour avec le meilleur temps au final. Je suis assez content et ça prouve que la journée va être assez bonne, et du coup on va voir les quarts, les huitièmes de finale, comment ça va se passer.
So a French winner in this qualifying round, Lorenzo Serres, beating Anton Olstam and Jeroen van Eck. Simon Gegenheimer only 4th. This is very interesting to look forward. How is he going to behave in the race? And a surprising winner here in the female time trials, with Fairly Frey winning this qualifying race before Jennifer Malik.
The start has a lot to say here. If you're fast out from the start, then you control the race much easier. So that's going to be the tough part in the final as well. We'll see how it goes.
It was hard. I suffer really much in the hot weather here. It's not like home, where we almost have snow the whole year.
The course is awesome. It's so much fun. It was just like flat, flowy, fast, really well built. They did an amazing job.
Quarterfinals men, and the first heat with Lorenzo Serres, the winner of the time trials, competing Daniel Castillo Noyola, the Mexican, and the American Jared Little in his grey jersey. And Serres starting like a bullet, flying away from the competition. He is the man to beat. He is the man in shape. And look how fast he's going. He's going simply too fast for the other two. The other two fighting against each other. Very close racing there in the hairpin. Hooking into each other. Losing quite some time. And this is an open door for Ceres, Lorenzo Ceres. Qualifying for the semi-final, as does Daniel Castillo Noyola. Time for Ceres 1:32, and it is Noyola finishing finally second in this first quarterfinal in 1:40. But what a performance of this guy, this French guy, Lorenzo Ceres. Noyola looking backwards, but a piece of cake for him and a qualifying. Second heat, and we have 4 competitors. For Georgia, Bisik Gabasheli. The German Simon Gegenheimer. For France, Simon Rogier. And for the USA, Benjamin Edwards. And they are gone. Fast start. Fast leaving the starting grid by Gegenheimer, taking the lead. And in his back immediately we see, of course, Simon Rogier, the Frenchman. These two are gone. The Georgian and the American are pushed away, pushed backwards, playing a role of no importance. The victory will be one of these two, Gegenheimer or Rogier. Differences are big, and Rogier is leading just in front of Gegenheimer. Gegenheimer playing it very tactical, saving forces and power for the next round. They both qualify for the semi-final. Gabasheli and Edwards coming in. This is the result of the second heat.
Quarterfinal was not so easy like expected. It was Simon, the last year 5th in overall, so it was quite a tight battle between him and me, but we made it good and qualified for the semi.
Heat 3, and 4 new guys presenting themselves with Justin Bristol, Seamus Powell, Elias Tranninger, and Anton Olstheim. Elias Tranninger for Austria, Olstheim for Sweden, and 2 American riders, Powell and Bristol. As expected, it is Anton Olstheim, the Swedish rider, taking the best start. Justin Bristol already in trouble after 10, 15, 20 meters. And here Olstheim, the leader of the pack, the little pack, the leader of these 4. Differences are not that big. Close behind them, we see an interesting battle for second and third position, which could be nice further down this heat when discussing about qualifying for the semi-final. For Olstheim, no problem at all. This is Bristol passing by. And what's the situation in the meantime for second position? Still competing and battling Powell in third position for now. He probably won't come over for second place. No, it is Alstom and Tranninger qualifying for the semi-final. Exit Powell and Bristol. Fourth and last heat in this quarterfinals with Jarno Trey, Jeroen van Eck, of course, German Stefan Thun, and Jesus Martinez for Mexico. Jeroen van Eck, the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman, taking the best start in the first turn. In his in his slipstream, we have this fight between Jesus Martinez and Stefan Thum. Thum, for now, having the lead on Martinez, but this is very close, not close at all for Jeroen van Eck. The Dutch the student company management as a whole team gathered around him, and well, the results are there. Winner in Waregem in 2016. In 2015 he was the winner in Antwerp. That's what I'm talking about. And 13 and 14 general classification of this championship, third, and 2015 in the general classification second, winning this heat before Jesus Martinez, both qualifying for the semi-finals. Exit Stefan Thum and Jarno Trey.
The quarterfinal, it was, I don't know, the track is really fast, so the first corner is so important, so I focused on that one. From there on I was on the first position and I could defend that position until the finish, so quite an easy one actually.
One female semi-final with the Swedish Ella Holmegard, then for Norway Ingrid Jacobsen, Jennifer Malik for the United States, and Fatima Marin for Mexico. 3 riders will qualify for the big final, so 1 rider will be eliminated. Exit for 1 rider and 3 will qualify. So far, no big differences. All neatly together in a row. Slight distance, but she's coming back for Fatima Marin. The Swedish Ella Holmegard in the lead in front, just before Ingrid Jacobsen. Controlling the race, these two. And then Marin trying to move forward, but Malik can resist so far. I have the impression that none of the 4 riders are pushing it too hard, saving the power, saving the forces for the big final. That is quite dangerous because well, there's only 3 will qualify for the big final. Well, it's for sure that Holmegard and Jacobsen will continue. And the big question is, will it be Malik or Marin qualifying for this big final? Still in front, Holmegard, followed by Jacobsen. Here is the finish, 1, 2, 3, and it's Malik qualifying as well for this big final.
I think it will be a hard final. It's 2 girls from USA that I never raced against before, but it will be fun.
We're in the next level now, the men's semi-final. First semi-final with Lorenzo Ceres, Simon Giegenheimer, Simon Rogier and Daniel Castillo Noyola. We have a French guy, a German guy, another French guy and a Mexican in this first race, in this first semi-final. And what a start is Giegenheimer taking the lead in the first turn change of plans. It's in fact Ceres trying to take over, but Giegenheimer keeping first position. This is a very tight race. Look at the 2. They are going away, chased by the other 2. Noyola in last position, making this inside turn, trying to pass Rogier. The race is taken over by Lorenzo Ceres, the Frenchman, in first position. Second position, Giegenheimer, the defending champion, having problems to keep up with the leader. Ceres riding like a bullet, how fast he is. Rogier, where is he? Is he in trouble? Oh, what a fall! What a crash! It's Noyola. In the last part of the race, he looks a little bit knocked out. What a fall. This was a pretty heavy crash. Let's hope he's all right. This means, anyway, Serres and Gegenheimer in the big final.
Not just Rocher, it was also Serres, two French, two fast friends. So really hard battle until the real finish line. So every corner I have to push 100% to get to the finals. I just hear the crash that I think he tried to jump the complete obstacle, but he hit the back wheel and fall over the front.
Next semi-final with Jesus Martinez. Then we have Anton Olstam, the Dutchman, Jeroen van Eck, and finally Elias Tranninger for Austria. These four waiting for the signal, waiting for the sign, and they kick off. It's Jeroen van Eck flying away, taking the first turn in first position. It is back wheel. It is Anton Olstam, second position. Olstam looking backwards to see how big the damage is behind, and there is a little damage. Two others trying to keep up, but the pace is just too fast. This is too heavy racing for the two guys in the back, Martinez and Tranninger. In front, it's still Van Eck leading. Before Olstam, they are in control. They will qualify for the big final. Really easy. Saving the power, coming in and going to the big final. Elias Tranninger finishing fourth. Third position for Jesus Martinez, but Jeroen van Eck and Anton Olstam, 1 and 2.
The semi-final was a good one. The tactic I had was, again, the right one. I was in front the whole race, and I could expand my lead a little bit more on the number 2. So now we are safe, and we won't make war, but I'm really excited to go full out in the final.
It's final time, and we're kicking off with a small final with Noyola. We saw Martinez, we saw also Simon Rogier and Elias Tranninger. We have two Mexicans, an Austrian and a French rider in this race. And it's Simon Rogier taking the best start just in front of Elias Tranninger. For now, it is Noyola, Daniel Castillo Noyola in last position, but last position taken over by Jesus Martinez, still in the lead. Rogier leading leading in front of Elias Tranninger. What a race, what a spectacle. Noyola coming closer. That can be interesting for the rest of this short and a fast run. Small final, 1, 2 and 3, and it's Noyola taking over second position. Rogier still in first. Noyola now second, Tranninger third, and it's Martinez coming closer to Tranninger. Tranninger in problems, in big trouble here. What is going to happen with Tranninger? What is happening? Is he out of breath? Anyway, what a time, what a race by Simon Rogier, the Frenchman, going for a victory in this small final, heading for the finish line. Simon Rogier winning the small final before probably Daniel Castillo Noyola, but who's coming in third, Tranninger or Martinez? It is Tranninger. It's ladies' time, and it's the final race for these four ladies. We have a Norwegian, a Swedish, and two Americans. For Sweden, Ella Helmegaard. For the United States, Jennifer Malik and Fairly Frey, the surprise of the party, and Ingrid Bø Jacobsen for Norway. The start and we're gone for 2 laps in front. It is leading Ingrid Jacobsen in front of Ella Hulmegaard. For now, it's Jennifer Malik in 3rd position and Fairleigh Frey in last position. Fairleigh Frey, the American nurse, surprising everybody here with the best time trial. But in this final, it's Ingrid Jacobsen leading, chased by Ella Hulmegaard. Ingrid Jacobsen overall 2nd in 2017 in this championship, and winning the race in Winterberg last year. Fall, a crash of Jennifer Malik. This will cost her the medal, the bronze medal, and it's Fairleigh Frey taking advantage of this Malik crash. Problems getting on top of that obstacle. Still in the lead. What a performance of Ingrid Bø Jacobsen, the Norwegian rider. Going for a very good time. And Ella Hulmegaard trying to keep up, but she is having difficulties. Fairleigh Frey coming closer to Hulmegaard. Is she preparing a last attack for 2nd place? Hulmegaard pushing it as hard as she can. Fairleigh Frey and last attack, but it's Hulmegaard winning this little contest in between these two for 2nd place. But winner Ingrid Bø Jacobsen, Norwegian victory here in Columbus, USA.
It was hard as expected, but I told myself I have to take the start, and went all in for it. And when I had the first curve there in the wall ride, it was like, don't miss this. Now you got the chance, just all in. And yeah, I did, and that was enough. And it feels so great.
I'm happy with my 2nd place. This is my first podium ever, so I'm really happy.
I almost had 2nd. I was close. So close. Ella was wonderful out there. She had a good ride.
The final, men's final, with Jeroen van Eck, with Lorenzo Ceres. This is Anton Olstein for Sweden, and Simon Gegenheimer for Germany. What 4 great, big, strong, fast races. And who is the fastest of these 4? It is Jeroen van Eck taking the lead, but taking over immediately, it's Simon Gegenheimer. What a race, what a contest. And Jeroen van Eck losing 1st position, leading position to Simon Gegenheimer. Is the German heading for his 1st win of the season. But again, Jeroen van Eck taking over, and what a battle, what a war here. These 4 are battling for the best place, for top position, for 1st position, still in the lead. Jeroen van Eck, what a performance. He did everything to prepare this season, hooking in each other. Ceres and Gegenheimer. Ceres somewhat earlier back into the saddle. We saw a slight injury at the arm of Gegenheimer, but a race finished for Gegenheimer. He will finish 4th, that's for sure, and clear way for the Flying Dutchman, for Jeroen van Eck. Looking backwards, no problems in the back. He's going for his 1st win of the season. The Columbus victory is for him, is for Jeroen van Eck. Anton Alstom of Alstom Better, the Swedish rider, will come in 2nd place, and then Lorenzo Ceres, the French rider, finishing 3rd, 4th position in this opening race of the season is for Simon Gegenheimer. What a disappointment this must be, this crash, this hooking into each other with Ceres. Victory for Jeroen van Eck.
I jumped like the race before the obstacle, but the back wheel hit the end of the obstacle, and I fall over the bars, and I crashed until the race was over.
It was a tough one. It was a hard race for the beginning, and yes, it was a big crash in the, I think it was the last lap, and I was behind the crash, so I can go around the crash, and I finished number 2, so I'm very happy.
Je suis pas trop content non plus parce que j'aurais pu jouer au moins la 2e place avec et du coup voilà, j'ai pris la 3e, c'est comme ça et on fera mieux la prochaine fois en Italie.
Let's have a look at the podium, men and women, and the overall results of the first race of the season. Classification after one race and the white jerseys.
I'm very happy with this win and the overall. I mean, it's the first time for me being in the leader jersey, and that in America, it's quite special.
The next round will take us to Volterra, Italy. Races on the 16th of June. Thanks for watching us today. Bye-bye.